The Whirlpool Masters is a very special event.
There's never going to be an easy match or an easy draw.
It's like a dream. It's a very big tournament, play the best players in the world.
There are 16 top world-class players.
It's a really strong field, really good mix.
It's called the Whirlpool Masters for a reason, so I've seen the draw, so it's not going to be a gimme. Pago Lions there.
For years I've been trying to win it. I finally won it in 2007. This year I would like to win it again.
We've got the usual, like Mika, Shane Van Bonen just won the US Open, so he's going to be dangerous. But he's never won outside of America.
Got all the Brits, Darren Appleton, Chris Mellon.
Chang JUNG LIN, he's won a couple of major tournaments over the last 12 months. Very strong player.
Nikos Ekonomopoulos, they gave him lessons like, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago in Athens. Obviously things have changed since.
You can be in the semi-final in 2 matches, or you can be on the plane tomorrow.
It's difficult to win the Whirlpool Masters because you got the best pool players playing, the top 16 best pool players from all over the world.
This is the cream of the cream, so to speak.
It would be a nice topping on the cake, as I think that's the saying in English.
I know if I win it, it'll be one of my greatest ever achievements.
I wanted to grow 2 inches. That's how the level is. Like, I wanted to win.
It's quarter-finals time here at the Party Poker Whirlpool Masters, one of the most sought-after titles in 9-ball pool, where you have to beat the best to be the best. Already through to the last 4, former Masters champion Alex Pagulayan. He takes on the very impressive Neil Svijan, who's whitewashed former world champion Mika Immonen. Darren Appleton has yet to play his last 8 match against the current US Open title holder Shane Van Bonen. And up next, Greece's leading player Nick Ekonomopoulos taking on Chang JUNG LIN.
It was a very tough match. Ralf is a legend. But I'm very happy that I win this match, and my game was very good. I hope to continue like this.
I have to improve my break shot because this format is winner breaks. So if I break very well, I get more chances.
It's a very tough match because Chang is one of the best players in the world. I will try to do my best and to win this match.
I will be very careful. I don't know him that much, but I've heard lots about him, and also watching his games before, I know he plays very tough. I have to watch out.
I feel confident, but every match is very tough and the level is very high, so I will try to do the best and we'll see.
Quarter-final number 3 here at the 21st Whirlpool Masters. Nick Ekonomopoulos up against Chang JUNG LIN for a place in the semis. And it was the Greek star who made an immediate impact, winning the lag and running out the first rack. But in rack 2, a dry break allowed Chang to the table, and it was his turn to run out and level at 1-1. On then to rack number 3, with me in the commentary box, Alex Lely, the 1999 Whirlpool Masters champion. And this really is a match between 2 players who I would assume don't know each other's games all that well.
Well, I don't think they have met in previous encounters, but I must say that all players, they will scan the competition at the World Championships. And I'm sure they have seen each other on YouTube and on television. And Ekonomopoulos is more new to the big crowds, but he did so well in the past Mosconi Cup as a rookie. Showed that he possesses a big heart for the game.
And both of these players fueled by a common incentive. If Ekonomopoulos or Chang were to capture this title, it would be the first time that their country has won the World Masters. Not surprising with Greece, in fairness, but it is with Taiwan. Good pot on the 2, but the cue ball not playing ball.
I'm sure he had assumed to collide any other ball. Focused mainly on sinking the 2 ball. Now the 3 passes to 6. Big shot. 2 great shots by Chang. First the cut shot and now the elevated stun shot on the 3 ball to give himself an entry in this rack. Very solid cueing there. Not the best of shots, but he'll deem himself lucky to not scratch. In Taiwan, the pros practice on super tight pockets. So to them, whenever they travel outside of Taiwan, the pockets seem like buckets.
And very much on Chang's bucket list is to win a major title like this. A great history of success in Taiwan, with the likes of Fong Pang Chao being world champion in the past, and also Wu Chia-ching, who won the world 8-ball and 9-ball double in the same year. Remarkable in itself, but especially so when you consider at the time he was only 16 years of age. Well, having lost the first rack, it looks as though Chang is going to take a 2-1 lead. And after the level of potting he showed in that rack, his success there fully deserved. The pot on the 2 was pretty good, on the 3 was even better, and from there it was pretty routine. The 9-ball went in down the rail, and Ekonomopoulos is now playing catch-up.
Rack 4, Chang to break, leading by 2 racks to 1.
Worrisome times for Ekonomopoulos, because Chang made 2 great shots to force a break and run. And I'm sure Ekonomopoulos has registered this. You always try to read your opponent. How anxious is he? How is his form? His cueing? Is he making positive shot selections or trying to be conservative? But at the moment, all Chang is sending out is a Taiwanese killer machine. Signals. Now an open table. The hardest shot will be to get from the 2 to the 3. This is why it is so rewarding in 9-ball pool to play offensive, to force a break and run. That way you plow yourself through a difficult rack and buy yourself a chance to get an open rack. In that manner, stringing together 3, 4, 5 break and runs.
And there you see an illustration of just how quick the surface of this table has become. The cue ball seemed as though it was going to stop earlier than it did. An ideal position has been surrendered.
If he cuts the 3-ball towards the side pocket, playing it with check side does not help so much on this TV table. There's no grip on the rails with the side spin. Scary to try and go through the angles. For me, it could be an option to leave myself a real first shot on the 5. He doesn't have to see the 5. If he leaves himself a passage through the rail in the 7-ball, it would be good enough. It's going around the angles. Very nicely done. Lot of quality.
His nickname is Dragonfire. And right now he's breathing fire. Looking really good. And very focused indeed.
Yeah, this is the tricky part about 9-ball pool. The previous rack he made great shots, came into position, connected the dots, and looked actually more flawless than in this rack where he had an open table. In pool many times, as easy as it looks, that's exactly what makes it hard. Sometimes the margin that the pockets give you make it difficult mentally to play a clean game. But he has done well.
Three on the spin. Chang, from 1-0 down, leads 3-1. Chang Jung Lin. He's got plenty of experience, and in this match he's got plenty of quality pool behind him. He leads Nick Ekonomopoulos 3-1, and of course when you win the previous rack, the bonus, the perk, is breaking off in the next.
Illegal break, control passes.
Now that was unusual. 2 balls potted, but an illegal break. The rule is the number of balls potted and the number of balls over the headstring, pool's equivalent of the balk line in snooker, have to add up to 3. There you saw 2 balls down, but no other balls over the headstring. And so it's an illegal break called by the referee Michaela Tab, and control of the table passes to Nick Ekonomopoulos. A relieved Ekonomopoulos.
Yes, Chang Jung Lin did not look like missing. Actually, a missed opportunity for Chang to really put together a block of racks. That's why I don't like the softer cut break, because you risk to hand over the table when you underhit the break with a couple % of speed. Ekonomopoulos has to jump.
Extension.
It's a very makeable jump shot, this. Should make it. Must make it. If he wants to stay in the race. Was clear to see how he drove the jump cue through the cue ball. You need to accelerate on the jump shot. Quick, crisp follow through.
And of course it must be remembered that he pulled off a really good jump shot as well during his first round win over the 6-times Masters champion Ralf Souquet. Clearly a part of his game he feels comfortable with. And now it seems as though Chang's illegal break is going to have big implications. In fact, for him, direct loss of rack.
Ekonomopoulos looked at playing a compact position for the 8-ball to the side pocket.
Well done, because this rack was much needed. Now back in the reckoning. What a gift though. The illegal break, so important, because it gave Ekonomopoulos that opportunity. The jump shot, I suppose, was the glue that bound the rack together, and from there he cleared.
Round 6, Ekonomopoulos to break, trailing by 3 racks to 2.
He was breaking hard in his match against Souquet, almost on every break, risking the scratch in the opposite side pocket. Very scary.
Illegal break, control pass.
More so because Jung Lin now takes control over the table.
Yes, the same illegal break as in the previous rack, but because of a different circumstance. This time, 2 balls crossed the head string, the 1 and the 7, but no balls were potted. So the requisite total of 3 wasn't reached.
He broke hard enough, Ekonomopoulos, but the contact on the 1 was too thin, thereby having too little of an impact on the rack. He can land on the 5 ball for position on the 2. Touch of inside. And he has missed the mark. Cutting the 2 will make the cue ball travel away from the 3. I don't think he can leave himself a shot when just playing this at pocket speed. Nicely done. Managed to check the cue ball enough, which is not easy on this TV table.
Extension.
Needs to figure out how to hold the cue ball. He has a lot of angle on the 3. Could go up and down, could play position for the 4 to one of the corners. Or he can try to run into the 6, thereby directly opening up the 6 ball. Very nice. Good enough, not perfect. Good enough, played it with maximum side spin. The angle thereby created made the cue ball travel more distance, thereby losing speed. Nice shot. Played with a lot of confidence in the angle of the cue ball. Now even if the 6 passes the 9 to the side pocket, he would need a perfect angle on the 6 to get to the 7. Therefore, his consideration now to come around the 6 to play for the same pocket. Same pocket is where he will pocket the 5 ball.
Just 2 seconds left of the allotted 35 seconds. But the beeps of the clock did not affect Chang in the slightest. The spot on the 6, though, by no means a certainty, especially when you consider the power involved to get up for the 7. What a fluke, Alex, what a fluke. And because he caught the near jaw here before he fluked it into an unintended pocket, that means the cue ball didn't travel anywhere near as far as he wanted it to. Plus the contact on the 8, of course, scuppered him in that regard as well.
So Ekonomopoulos happy to be back at the table. That's basically what it's about. Whether your opponent fluked the ball or not, you're back. That's what counts. In with a chance not to pocket, but to counter save. His first hunch was to spin the cue ball and hit rail first, hit the 7 ball underneath and send it back down table, leaving the cue ball there. Would require full contact.
Wow, you cannot get any close to a pocket without the ball actually falling. He thought it was in. He was convinced it was in.
Still like his shot selection there, though. Reconsidered and opted offense. And that you missed does not mean that it was a wrong shot selection.
Yes, and still some queuing to be done here to deposit the 8 ball. Big shot coming up.
Doesn't want to power this stroke. Nicely done. Played it very clean. Essential on this TV table to limit the amount of side spin because it reacts so much more than on a club table.
Chang halfway to victory. He leads 4-2. Welcome back everyone to the Party Poker World Pool Masters. In rack 7, Chang made the 1 ball from the break but had no pot on the 2. A clever safety followed, leaving Ekonomopoulos with a tough escape. The Greek made contact with the 2, but he left the pot, allowing Chang an opportunity to take the rack. He did, extending his lead to 5-2 and thereby tightening his grip on this match. On then to the 8th, and Chang of course to break.
We haven't seen maximum consistency on the break from either of both players. The right side to me is clearly not the best side to break from. We've seen more successful breaks, more functional breaks from the left side. It actually surprises me that neither of the 2 players is switching sides.
Yes, and that's the 3rd illegal break we've seen in the match. On that occasion, just 1 ball going over the head string, namely the 8, and no balls down.
Good speed. Is there an edge of the one ball sticking out for Chang JUNG LIN to see? If not, he is confronted with a very difficult kick shot. But he sees an edge. Just needs to clip it, avoid the 2-ball, and he will counter save.
Just a sliver sticking out, but that was all that Chang needed.
Very touchy shot here. Must avoid the 7-ball with the 1. Played a more difficult shot, the kick shot, but with a higher probability of a successful or acceptable outcome.
Extension.
This is acceptable to that extent that Chang JUNG LIN has to come with a big shot. I don't think he will contact the 2-ball on the way out, which means that he will need the force to go back and forth to come back to the 2-ball.
Pot missed, 1 ball, sitting pretty for Ekonomopoulos over the middle pocket. The worst possible outcome for Chang, and an invitingly open table for his rival.
I think Chang's miss came from an overload of focus on the 2-ball. And what a chance this is for Ekonomopoulos. Point-wise, to narrow Chang's lead, but also to punish Chang for his miss.
Extension.
And hopefully to make a successful break and to start gaining some momentum in this match, because thus far Ekonomopoulos has not had any momentum.
Alex, you've been around European pool for many years now. We know that Ekonomopoulos is a trailblazer in terms of taking Greece into the Mosconi Cup. Is he the best player ever to emerge from that country?
Definitely, because he has played in the Mosconi Cup. He has won a Euro Tour. Johnny Vasalos, though, a player not so well known, he doesn't participate on the Euro Tour anymore, but in the same age group as Ekonomopoulos. He has won a Euro Tour, and Greece in 2010 in the World Team Championships in Hanover, they kicked out Team USA and made it to the semi-finals. So there's a strong impetus now coming from Greece, and together also with Nick Malai, who lives in Athens but comes from Albania, together with Kazakis now. Those 3, they travel a lot, play the Euro Tour and more international tournaments. At the Euro Tour in Bosnia, there was in that group from Ekonomopoulos, there was one player, Zaya I think his name was. He was in the green room sparring with many top players, Mario He, Dimitri Jungo, and he was taking them all down. So at the moment there are many strong players in Athens.
Good to see, and from Ekonomopoulos' point of view, this will be a very good rack to win. And it has been won. Sticking in there. He trails now only 5-3.
A routine run out for Ekonomopoulos, albeit under the gun. But now a big moment coming up. He needs all his experience now to make the break work. And look what he's doing. He's switching to the left side. I say that's a good move. Don't hold back on the break, even though you risk of scratching in the opposite side pocket. Many times his cue ball goes in that direction. Ball down. 2 balls passing the head string. A very successful break. Workable run out. I wouldn't say easy. I say medium difficult.
Turn that camera off, please.
Because he has to cue over the 5 ball. If he decides to stop the cue ball, he will have a medium hard shot on the 3 ball. My guess is he will play with top spin coming out of the corner. Long rail, short rail. And then still have a tricky shot on the 3. Okay, that's 1. Perfect angle. He can play soft medium draw shot and he will avoid that side pocket. He looks at stunning the cue ball on this shot, landing between the 9 and the side pocket. 2 options. It's personal preference. Now if that 5 ball passes the 6, the hard work is almost done. Because this shot on the 4 requires some delicate little speed control.
Well, how about that? What a pivotal moment in the match, potentially. Even if the 7 ball is coming to his assistance in a certain way. Who would have thought that would be missed? He overcut it.
Extension.
And he walks back to his seat and sits there thinking, why, oh why? Thankfully, as I said, the 7 ball provides cover.
The pockets on these Diamond Pro Cut tables are pretty deep. So it's not all too easy to play rail first from the short rail. Any contact on the 4 is not guaranteed to be good enough. He needs to clip it to make a thin hit. With left spin he managed to bend that cue ball around the 7. And still the work isn't done.
Yes, by applying that side spin, which he had to do to make the pot, it compromised the positional aspect of the shot. So Ekonomopoulos might not yet be punished. I think he will be now. Hold on a moment though, is there a path to the 6? It's very tight indeed.
At the moment, both players far from flawless. And now it's all about maintaining a solid B game, about maintaining composure.
Oh, the jump cue employed. What a shot. Super.
Taiwanese players are specialists in jumping the cue ball. Xin Yang, I think the best of the lot. There's a nice compilation clip on YouTube. All jump shots from Xin Yang, who at some point won 6 out of 9 Grand Prix tournaments in Taiwan. But in the end, Chang Jung Lin proved to be the number 1 from Taiwan.
So then the 9, does it go down the rail? Yes, it does. And Chang Jung Lin, after Ekonomopoulos made a bad mistake, doubles up, leads 6-3.
Back 10, Chang to break, leading by 6 racks to 3.
By pouncing on a mistake from his opponent and by producing a spectacular jump shot, Chang Jung Lin is now very much in the driver's seat in this quarter-final of the Party Poker Whirlpool Masters. 2 more racks needed and he'll be into the last 4.
Perfect speed on that break. Made 3 balls. His first shot is on the 3 ball. With a tricky and vicious angle on the 3. Bear in mind, the cloth on the TV table is very slick. The balls are slick, which gives little grip on the ball and on the cushion. Shots like these are harder than on a club table.
Attention.
And add to that, due to the slickness of the balls and the cloth, when playing with side, the cue ball deflects more. It is pushed more off the aiming line. Jung Lin wants to attack. Is he kissing the 8 ball? Nice shot.
Wasn't it just? In an ideal world, would have liked the cue ball to be more in the meat of the table rather than under the side cushion. For this now delicate 4 to the middle.
It all depends on the natural route. Does he have to work the cue ball or just make the ball? The natural route was into the 7, but he just bared down, made the shot and hoped for some sort of angle on the 6, which he has. Would be a fine run out if he gets there. Some difficult shots he needs to make.
You get the impression this is the key one. Oh, 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Unperturbed into the heart of the pocket at pace. Position par excellence. 7-3 beckoning. Alex, what a cracking run out.
Great shot making by Chang Jung Lin. In the beginning of the match he started to look fluent, until he was halted by an illegal break. After that, it has been more of a grind, but it comes to show how high his basic level is. Without playing his A game, coming with shot after shot. Great stuff.
Absolutely right, and now Chang finds himself perched on the hill, leading 7-3. Well, for me, Alex, one of the run-outs of the entire tournament so far. So many good shots, at 70 points in the run-out. He could have failed, but in the end he succeeded. And now Nick Ekonomopoulos knows he's on the very verge of elimination.
Jung Lin does not want to underhit this break shot. When successful, it is smooth and perfect. And he has duplicated the same speed as on the previous break, and what a layout he has. This is what they call a Cosmo rack. Well, not entirely, because he has to come with one good shot, the opening shot from the 2 to the 3. If he lands good on the 3 ball, on the cherry, it's all about connecting the dots.
That's one of the reasons I really enjoy working with you, Alex. I always pick up some new terminology. A Cosmo rack.
You don't know, this was Cosmo the Clown in the past. This was a pool player who did exhibitions. He dressed up like a clown, set up an easy layout, and in between shots did some acts. So a Cosmo rack is the easiest of layouts, without any positional requirements.
Well, I think they could send in the clowns. It would affect Chang's concentration at the moment. Full-scale circus. Zoned in. And heading towards the semi-finals.
Taking nothing for granted. Just checking his angles. I like watching his cue action. His arm is very straight, sort of rigid, but his wrist, his backhand is very loose. Two more shots to be the third semi-finalist.
Ekonomopoulos is defeated. Chang, thoroughly impressive. He wins 8-3. What a confidence-boosting exhibition.
Yeah, it was very tough. I started good, first track, I ran out. After my break didn't work so good, was bad my break. And he played very well. He missed only one ball. It's very difficult for him, but a winner break against a top player. And one ball was enough to lose 8-3.
Chang progresses to the last 4, where he faces the winner of the only remaining quarter-final between Darren Appleton and Shane Van Boening. Can Appleton prosper in front of a home crowd, or will he crack under the pressure against the reigning US Open champion? Find out next time, here at the Party Poker World Pool Masters.